That's supposed to. Oh no!
It's fine, it's fine.
Oh no!
It's okay.
Earthquake! Hi everyone! Welcome back to Karen Puzzles. So I'm back in LA, but I just spent a week at home in New Jersey where my sister and I reorganized all of her Puzz3Ds. Don't drop it! Don't drop it!
You're so helpful, Karen.
Here's where we started. You can see that all of them were on the top bunks of our childhood bunk beds. They were a complete mess. They were all like mixed in with each other. And they were a little bit dusty and a few spiders had moved in. Ew, gross. So dusty. Ooh. Do it again. So it was definitely time to clean and reorganize the entire collection. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here is Katie to explain what a Puzz3D is in the first place.
Puzz3D is a brand of three-dimensional puzzles. Most of them are actual buildings, some of them are fictional places or just random objects, and I have a lot of them.
So basically, you're creating all of the flat sections like any other jigsaw puzzle, but then you take those sections and you use them to build an actual structure. So what that means is that all of the puzzles are completely different sizes, which makes them really hard to organize. And some of them are really, really big. They definitely take up a lot more space than a regular flat jigsaw puzzle. And Katie never takes them apart.
Nope, never in my life.
Obviously, we couldn't go into this without a plan. So here is Katie to tell you the plan.
So I looked up or measured the dimensions of every puzzle that I have and basically put that into a spreadsheet and then used Google Slides to basically draw out boxes to scale and just rearrange them until I had an arrangement that I was happy with and that would actually work with the dimensions of this room.
So with the plan in place, what we had to do next was build the actual shelves. So cue that time lapse. Our parents don't know how to do anything that's not heavy duty and very strong.
Yep, these shelves are not going anywhere.
I don't think you need, what was it, 3,600 pounds can fit on them?
Yeah.
How much do these puzzles weigh? Like 3 ounces?
They're foam. It's just foam and paper. Maybe a couple pieces of cardboard.
3.3 ounces. We should have just gotten IKEA shelves.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
So now it is finally time to get all of the puzzles organized onto the shelves. This part is so satisfying to watch. That's supposed to. Oh no!
It's fine, it's fine.
Oh no!
It's okay.
Earthquake! Oh no, another earthquake! Aftershocks. Is the paper gonna stay there?
For now, because I might pull it out and do some more dusting later.
I don't think it looks very nice.
Yeah, it needs some power washing.
This is temporary.
So I made this one when I was very young. I think this is probably late middle school or early high school, and I was not great at figuring out how to attach these down into the foam. So I may do some revisions after I do a little cleaning of this one.
So I would just like to share right here one of the best Christmas presents I ever gave Katie. So this past year we went to Disneyland together for the first time, and so for Christmas I got her, Disney World's Cinderella Castle, but I printed out the little picture of us So now we are at Disney. Look at how cute.
Okay, so this is Europe 1, and we've got the top shelf of those. We can't do the towers yet because they're a little buried. We can't do New York City yet because that's also buried. I think we're gonna do Europe 2 next.
Who knew there was a Europe 2?
So now we're going for Neuschwanstein. Apologies to any German viewers, I do not know how to pronounce this word correctly, but it's the first big one that I did, and it's my favorite forever.
Don't drop it, don't drop it.
Again, the paper is temporary until we clean.
And this one definitely needs a clean.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna zoom in too far. Those are all dead bugs. And a giant spider web.
I made this one at least 2 decades ago. Well, more than 2 decades ago. It's been here for a long time.
American Ninja Warrior Puzzle Edition. Oh, wow, we just barely cleared it. Oh no!
I used to have this sitting on my window on the top of the air conditioner, I think. For a lot of years, apparently. Wow, look at that.
You ruined one of your puzzles.
I was young, I didn't know any better. So now we're gonna do this bottom shelf, which is all of the things that are just like objects or fake buildings, because they're my least favorite, so they go on the bottom shelf.
I gave this puzzle to Katie for Christmas, and apparently it's one of her least favorites. She is cold. Real cold. Now, Katie, this one looks like a real building, is it not?
No, this is generic medieval castle.
Not quite hitting the ceiling.
I measured correctly.
So little.
It's to scale though.
So little. Alright, look what we just uncovered! It's my puzzle board! Our dad made this when we were very young. My first puzzle memories are on this exact board. Alright, it's the big one. It's time for New York! This is the biggest Puzz3D ever made, right?
Yeah, it's 3,141 pieces.
Oh boy, here we go! Here we go!
The board will also come out of here, but not yet. So this is the top of the CN Tower, and this is the base of the CN Tower, and whenever I did this one a decade ago, I don't know, it's in the spreadsheet, I did not attach them together. I don't think I followed the steps in order, so I'm just gonna place it on top for right now, and maybe in a little bit I'll try to actually wiggle it into place. Yeah.
Looks very precarious.
It's fine. No one breathed on it. This is the grandfather clock. This is one of the first ones I ever did when I was little.
Oh, it's not going on a shelf.
Nope, I ran out of room.
And fun fact, we each had the grandfather clock, but mine is in pieces in this box. All right, Katie, is that all of them?
That's all.
What's it like to see them all in one place?
It's pretty amazing. They've never all been together like this.
So the shelves are almost done, but Katie, what's the last thing that you're gonna do?
Slight change of plans. We're gonna flip New York City here with the things on the top over there, because the air conditioning unit moves a little, those flaps adjust, and they're kind of hitting the buildings right now, and I don't want them to get bumped every time we use the AC in here.
Don't drop it, don't drop it.
There's so helpful, Karen.
Wow, look at how many buildings there are. It's like we're taking a helicopter ride over New York. Okay, wow, so this puzzle of New York, it's literally two halves. They don't even connect with like puzzle pieces. But when you did it, you mixed them all together, right?
Yeah.
What's with all the moisture that ended up on that paper?
I mean, it's on here too.
Yeah, well, we have a new clean sheet of foam board.
Yep.
It's an artistic interpretation of the layout of New York.
I mean, it kind of is already. Not entirely accurate in there to begin with.
Well, I think they're organized.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So everyone has always been asking for a tour of all of the Puzz3Ds. I think finally now we can make that happen.
Let's do it. So this entire shelf is the Towers to Scale series. I have almost the entire series here. I think there are 2 left that I don't have. All of the Towers to Scale are, as the name would suggest, in scale with each other. They are all at a 1 to 585 scale. In the boxes that you get, it usually shows a little picture of the diagram of where that one is compared to a couple of the others, so you can see how it compares. The other fun thing about this series is they all glow in the dark, so if you look at them at night after they've been in bright light for a while, they have little tiny windows that are lit up for all the people who are working overnight.
A lot of these are also pretty difficult because look at that design that you're piecing together. It's just a whole lot of windows on this shelf.
So I've been working my way through this Towers to Scale series for over a decade and a half. I'm pretty sure the first one I did was in 2004, probably the Empire State Building. And then most recently, I just did the Petronas Towers in 2020. So the New York City puzzle is my pride and joy of all of my Puzz3Ds. It's the biggest one, I believe, that Puzz3D ever made. 3,141 pieces. I spent the entire summer of 2004 putting this together. I still remember I had spent the entire summer working on all the little sections, and then we were about to go up to visit my grandma for a couple of weeks, and I didn't want to wait until I came back to build the whole thing, so I stayed up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning doing the entire construction of it. So this is one of the Europe shelves. This has St. Mark's Basilica, Notre Dame, and a Nice Castle. This is one of the trickiest ones I've done. All of these little domes do not stay on there very well. They didn't when I first built it, and I just tried to fix it, and they're still not staying on great. On the bottom shelf here, we have some of the not real things, as I call them. So this is a generic medieval castle. Then we have a locomotive, a Mississippi steamboat, and generic haunted house.
I decided to flip my phone vertical for this one because this puzzle is 5 feet tall.
This is the CN Tower in Toronto. It's definitely the tallest one that I have. I think it's the tallest one Puzz3D ever made. I went to the CN Tower a couple of years ago and did the thing where you can walk around the outside of the top, which I think is on this level, maybe up here. And I wish they had little people out here on the Puzz3D. That would be cool.
I don't think that experience existed yet when this was released.
That's also probably true. So in the middle here is Cinderella's castle that Karen gave me for Christmas last year. And then we have our 2 Tiffany lamps, which we made in our previous video. Go check that out. And then the Empire State Building. This is not part of the Towers to Scale series. There is one that is part of the Towers to Scale series. I don't have that one yet. but this is a larger size of it. This is not in scale with the rest. This is my other shelf of Europe places. We've got 2 sizes of the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. We have 2 sizes of Big Ben, a little bus, and a telephone booth. The Sistine Chapel is really cool. I think it's the only double-sided Puzz3D I've ever seen, because the whole top opens and then you have the whole ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
And the interior.
Yeah. Even the underside of it is double-sided.
Ooh.
And then we have Neuschwanstein Castle. Again, apologies to any German viewers if I am butchering that pronunciation. This is the first actual building Puzz3D that I made. It's one of my favorites, and I don't think they work anymore, but it actually has all these little cardboard rooms inside with one itty-bitty Christmas light in each room, so you could theoretically turn that on and see all the little rooms inside. Then we have some of the big, shorter ones. So we have the Sydney Opera House, and then a San Francisco cityscape, with a little trolley car right here to go with it. And then this bottom shelf, these are Karen's. Karen mostly had a lot of minis, and then a couple of the smaller regular size ones like the Carousel and Thomas Kincaid, but this is the Karen shelf. This also has the custom one that Karen made for me for Christmas one year of our family caboose. And I didn't really have space on any of the shelves, but we also have the grandfather clock. This is the first big Puzz3D that I ever did. It has a not now, but once upon a time, working clock face with a little battery inside, so you could actually use this as a clock.
And is that all the puzzles?
That's all of them.
So this is a lot of Puzz3Ds, but you don't even have all of them.
No, I think there are probably about 50 on these shelves, and Puzz3D made a couple hundred.
Although, when we were organizing this room, we had to move a little bit of furniture around, and in the corner that was blocked by some of the furniture, what did you find?
I found a lot of Puzz3Ds I haven't done, including Venice, which is kind of the same structure as the San Francisco cityscape.
And that wasn't even on your spreadsheet. You did not know you had that one.
No, I have a list of the ones that I have and haven't done, and I didn't even know I had that one. I haven't done Venice yet. I forgot I had that. Do I even know that I have that?
But when you do all of the puzzles that you haven't done yet,
yep.
Where are they gonna go?
There is room on some of these shelves to squeeze things in a little more, and otherwise we'll figure it out.
To be decided.
Yeah.
Although you do have some specific parameters of the ones you like, right? Like, you're not looking to collect all of them.
No, I don't need or want all of them. So Puzz3D did a lot of licensing. There are a bunch of Star Wars ones that I don't care about. Sorry, Star Wars fans. There are a lot of vintage cars. Don't really care about those. I pretty much just like the actual buildings.
But if you do want to see pretty much everything Puzz3D ever released, we did find this website, puzz3d.org. We are not affiliated with it, we didn't make it, but they have a list and pictures of like every single one out there. And it's been really helpful when we've been trying to figure out like what year some of your puzzles were released.
Yep.
So we actually filmed a bonus Patreon video together. It's like a puzzle with us like hangout, very casual video. It's gonna be pretty long because what we did was we filmed us solving all of the minis that I hadn't put together since I was like 12 and they were in pieces. We put them all back together. So you can see that by signing up for Patreon for $3 a month. All the info will be down in the description. So let us know in the comments if you have ever done a Puzz3D or if this is the type of puzzle you'd want to try. Katie, we need a code word for the comments.
Let's go with skyscraper, because my favorite series is the Towers to Scale series. All of these actual real-life skyscrapers.
This room is a lot more organized now.
Looks great in here.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
I can sleep on my top bunk again. Yay.